So check out these two pictures I found. They were both taken of the night sky, except one of them, as you can see on the left, is taken where? The city. So that would be an urban landscape, which is like a cityscape basically. And then the place on the right is a rural landscape, which is like, think of campgrounds or farmlands or something like that. Now, what's interesting about this is you might notice that there's no stars in the picture on the left, and there's plenty of stars in the picture on the right. So the question is, why are the stars only out sometimes? Now, first off, if you didn't know this, the stars are always out, even during the day. You just can't see them during the day because why? Because the sun's out, right? So the amount of light in the area greatly affects how easy you could see the stars. Now, in this case of the city on the left, the city experiences lots of what they call light pollution. It's just basically they turn their lights on. You can see all the lights in the city, and it brightens up the whole area, and it makes it difficult to see the stars in the sky. There is no light pollution on the picture on the right. So that is a reason why you could see the stars really well in a campground or at a lake or something like that on the right, and you can't near the city. So pretty interesting. Now, what I found was I have 6 cities, and then it tells you what type of area it is, so urban or rural, we learn the words, and it tells you the average number of visible stars on a clear night. And you can clearly see the rural has thousands of clear visible stars and the urban don't. So that's purely due to light pollution. Now, what might be really useful for scientists is if we could take this data and graph it. So the question is, how is graphing useful for astronomers? So basically, we're going to take data, so numbers, and we're going to plot it on a graph or create a model of some sort. And hopefully, as you can see here, we're going to develop some type of pattern, and it's going to allow scientists to draw a conclusion based on a visual model that develops some sort of pattern. So that's pretty cool. So patterns are going to help scientists draw different conclusions than they would be able to just with seeing numbers. And obviously the example here, there's only 6 data points. But when you get into basically thousands of data points, as you see here, that's going to make it very difficult to see a pattern. So we plot it on a graph and we're able to see some sort of trend. Here's another one where they basically compared monthly temperatures to monthly precipitation. So it's a combination of a bar graph and a line graph, and they plot both of them on top of each other, and then they're able to see a pattern. This is a model, but it uses tons of numerical data. They put the data of temperatures on a model and they color coded it, and then you're able to see some sort of pattern or trend. So graphing and modeling is super important for scientists, especially in astronomy. Here's a question back to stars. What are some reasons that stars could appear brighter in the night sky? So even in the background that you see in the picture right now, some stars are way easier to see than others. Any idea why? So basically, there's plenty of reasons. The first one that sticks out to me is some obviously look bigger. So if the star is bigger in the galaxy that you're looking at it in, then that's going to be easier to see. Another example could be the color, right? The color of the star can impact how easy it is to see. I could see the blue ones a lot easier maybe in this picture than some of the red or the yellow ones. Another way is if it is further away from the Earth. So stars that are really far away are going to appear very, very small. An example here is the sun, right? We see the sun all the time, and you could see specifically that the sun is all yellow in this picture. You could see the gases over it. It's pretty cool. This was taken with a very, very high definition telescope. And this is a cool picture I found. This is actually a picture of a white dwarf, which is a star later in its life. You can see it's very, very bright. But it's much smaller, honestly, than our sun, because over time, depending on the star, it could shrink. So we'll talk about that when we do stars. Here are 2 pictures that I found from a telescope. Now, what's cool about this is that you can have 2 pictures from the same exact spot in space, but you can make one show lots more detail sometimes. So depending on the telescope and the wavelength of light that they decide to capture, you could capture tons of more details in certain nebula or stars or areas of our universe. Essentially, the different wavelengths of light, let's say like shooting in X-rays or ultraviolet rays or infrared, that's going to pick up different structures in the universe that you can only see in that type of wavelength. So it's pretty cool that scientists change the wavelength of light and then can find different structures depending on the wavelength. So certain like dust clouds are only visible if you look at them in an infrared vision, which is heat. We do that very often to discover new things in space. Point of the matter is telescopes help scientists really understand space, whereas if we didn't have them, we basically wouldn't have even a slightest percentage of understanding of the universe as we do today. But we really rely on them a lot, and ideally we want them in an area with really low light pollution on clear nights. So maybe they put a lot of telescopes in deserts and places like that, but they also attach telescopes and cameras to satellites, and they launch the satellites into orbit, and those aim at space with no atmosphere between them. So they don't have to worry about clouds or light or anything because they're in space, and that's how we actually get our clearest pictures. Let's check out this practice question, so see how you do. It says a student collects data on the brightness of a star measured at different wavelengths of light. When examining the raw data table, the student notices no obvious pattern. But after they graph brightness versus wavelength, a smooth curve appears with a clear peak in the infrared region. So the question is, two parts. Explain why the graph provides more useful scientific information than the raw data table alone. And then describe what new type of conclusion the student can now make. So for the first part, we talked about it. The graph provides a visualization of the data that allowed the person to see a pattern, which is great because they didn't see the pattern with just looking at the numbers, but when they graphed it, they were able to see the pattern. In terms of describing what new type of conclusion the student can now make, interestingly enough, this star is emitting some type of energy that's only visible to the telescope in an infrared wavelength of light. Let's try this question. Two observatories study the same distant galaxy. A visible light telescope shows only faint spiral arms, while an infrared telescope reveals large regions of star formations hidden inside dust clouds. Which statement best explains why the infrared telescope allows scientists to gain more information about the galaxy? All right, read the choices and see what you got. All right, so hopefully we're going to reveal the answer. Let's see if you got it. Hopefully you chose B. The dust in space absorbs the visible light, but it allows longer wavelengths of infrared radiation to pass through it, revealing objects otherwise hidden. So this is what I was talking about before. Depending on what wavelength of light the telescope is looking at, you can see different objects in the universe. So it's very, very useful for scientists to sort of check on multiple different wavelengths if they're examining an area, so see if they can find any other information. Let's talk about key takeaways from the video. Star visibility can change depending on location, such as rural versus urban. Number 2, star visibility can be impacted by star type, the size of the star, the age of the star, the luminosity, which is the brightness, and other star characteristics. Number 3, graphing helps scientists visualize patterns. And number 4, telescopes enhance our senses, finding new discoveries in space in different wavelengths.